Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Um, Hello, welcome. Okay. Welcome. Um, we are supposed to be doing our workshop today on consumer behavior. Let's see who's here. Kicking off in a bit. As soon as we have a couple of people come in. So we share that on our group to get everybody come in. Hey guys, welcome as you come and join us. Um, So just waiting for a couple of other people to come, and then we can, I think, kick off our work here. What do you guys think? Mm, I think that should be okay. Okay, good. Guys, so today we will be doing like the revision for the consumer behavior. And these topics are important because they will be coming in the final exam and or the quiz. So they will make up post COVID-19. It will make up, so it's important that you go through this. If you are here, that's good. If you're not on the live channel, then I hope people watch it later on because this is going to be important. So what we'll do is we'll kick off with we will kick off with our course for today. So before I start, can you guys hear me okay? Good, I guess so. Okay, good. So, consumer behavior. What is consumer behavior? What's the importance of consumer behavior? Why do we study it? Look at consumer behavior. Um, how does consumer behavior or learning about consumer behavior help a business? How does it help uh, the marketing department of a business? Those are the things that we are going to be looking at. When we look at the official definition, it's something like the behavior that consumers display in searching for, purchasing, using, evaluating, and disposing of products and services that they expect to satisfy their needs. So there's a couple of important things in this. We start by looking at the way how customers search for information, the way how they search for products and services that they want to purchase. Um, then the second bit is the purchasing itself. Okay, so the process they go through purchasing, and different people have different processes. We'll talk about that as we go along with this course. Um, Once you've purchased the process, how do you use it? What are you going to use it for? Your evaluation of that particular product. And then finally, to dispose of the product, either resell it or throw it away or recycle it. That is those are the main things that are part of consumer behavior that we are looking at for a customer. These are all obviously very important, because if we know these, then we can influence our customers to purchase our products and services as opposed to our competitors' products and services. So it's important for us to understand consumer behavior, because that is the foundation really of marketing, foundation of advertising. That's where the base of marketing and advertising is built. If we know this, we can influence our customer through advertising, through sales promotions, uh, through public relations, and all the other uh, you know tools we have with us, so that our customer will prefer to buy our product and service as opposed to our competitors' product and service. Now, when we talk about consumer, there is a personal use or for the household use, for the use of a family member or for a friend. So a personal consumer is one who will buy things for themselves or their household or the family or for a friend. Now, behavior comes from or is part of the marketing concept. The marketing concept is different from the previous concepts that we have studied, because marketing talks about starting with asking the customer, what does the customer want? The production concept is focused on producing, make as much as you can. And this dates back to the Industrial Revolution, when factories came about, and when the factories came, at that point in time, the demand for products and services was very high, but supply side was low. So all the companies that were there, they were production focused because they wanted to produce as much as they could. Produce as much as you can. Whatever you produce, customers will come and buy it from you. And it was failing when supply and demand, they started becoming inverse, where you had more supply, more people producing things, and the demand started to decrease, or the supply side outpaced the demand. And then we came into the product concept, where the idea was to make your product better, different, add more features, different variations, different flavors to the product. So the idea was to focus on the product instead of focusing on the production side. And again, that worked for a while, when customers thought, okay, you know what, this product is different. I will purchase this, compared to the other brands, other companies. But at one point in time, people got bored with that as well, because they no longer had products with features and things that they needed. It was just companies thinking, what should we do? They'd put those in the product, but customers didn't really need those things. So companies thought, okay, what do we do? The best way to you know, get customers to buy our products and services is to maybe um, be a bit more aggressive in the way how we sell our products and services. So companies went into the selling concept, where they hired salespeople, they had sales promotions, buy one get one free, 50% off, the coupons and things of that sort. They went into the sales concept, the selling concept. And in the selling concept, it was all about being aggressive and trying to push our products to the customer to get them to buy our products and services. So the salespeople would come in and say, "Oh, you know what? This thing is very unique. It's very different. It's got these features. It should be beneficial to you." And again, the selling concept worked for a long period of time. Some companies are still using selling concept till this day. Um, but most of the companies have found that selling concept is almost all the companies, they realize selling concept does not work in the long term. Why? Because we're not really asking the customer, what do you want? What we're doing is we are making a product, we're making a service based on what we think the product and service should be. And then we go and sell it to the customer, try to sell it to the customer. The customer oftentimes says, you know what, I don't get phone calls. We all get emails from sales companies all the time. Those are companies that are really more selling focused. Marketing changed all of that. Marketing was about, you know what, let's find out what the customer wants. And once we know what the customer wants, then we can make that product or service, and then we try to sell that product or service to our consumers. So that's why consumer behavior is a fundamental part of the marketing concept, because that finding out what the customers want, we do that on the basis of the behavior of our customers. We need to know what our customers are thinking. If we don't know what the customers think, then it is impossible for us to be a marketing focused company. It is impossible for us to be able to make a product service according to the quality that the customer is seeking. So once again, just a brief overview of production concept assumes that consumers are interested primarily in product availability at low prices. So it's try to make lots of products, low prices, cheap in a efficient production, low price for your customer, and you have intensive market distribution. So you try to distribute your product and service extensively across the marketplace. And your goal of a company that is in this stage is to do market expansion. Go for expanding your market, getting large number of customers because you're selling it at a low price. Some companies today are still following the production concept. There are companies out there who still are production oriented. Think of a lot of those factories from countries like China, who are so low cost, low priced item, but try to sell it to big, because that is what is going to help us make a profit, or that's what they think. But in the long term, it does not work. It's not effective. Features. So the idea within the product concept is try to improve the quality of a product, have additional features in the product, and this does lead towards the marketing concept. However, the key problem in this is we are thinking what the customer wants. We are perceiving what our customer wants. We're not really going out and asking the customer, what do you want? And that is the big challenge, the big problem in this. So a lot of companies can think, okay, this is what we think, this is what the customer wants, let's make a better mobile phone, which is better features, whatever. And you are one day the biggest market player, you're the biggest company in the market, and the next day you are not there anymore. Think Nokia. Yes, Nokia, they improved their phones according to the quality that they thought mattered to the customer. But Nokia, consequently, other companies were able to come in, Samsung, and they took over the business from these two companies. So the selling concept is the selling concept assumes that consumers are unlikely to get a product unless they are aggressively persuaded to do so. Their objectives are to sell, sell, sell. Just go out and try to sell your product to your customer. There is a lack of concern for customer needs and satisfaction. So in selling concept, really, the customer needs and satisfaction is secondary to the fact that you just want to go and sell things to your customers. And that is why the selling concept does not work in the long term. Short term, yes, it might work, but long term, it does not work. All those unsolicited emails we get, messages, phone calls we get from companies trying to sell us things which we don't need. That is all part of the selling concept. Those companies are all selling focused. So in this day and age, you'd think most companies would have moved to the marketing focus, but still there are companies that are following practices such as the selling concept. And the market needs and wants of specific target markets and deliver the desired satisfaction better than the competition. So the idea is we have a specific target audience that we're trying to sell our products and services to, and we try to find out what that particular target market wants, what that particular target needs, and then we try to make a product or service that will match the desires of the target audience. And obviously, we try to do it better than our competitors. And the idea is the marketing concept believes that you will get long-term profitability through customer satisfaction. And there's one step, a new thing I would add to this, where I believe marketing concept has to move on, where it's not just about satisfying the customers anymore. It is about trying to go beyond satisfaction and trying to get customer loyalty, to get our customers become loyal to us. Because we have found, research has found, that customers who are satisfied are willing to switch to other brands, and that is not what our goal should be. Our goal should not be try to have a single transaction, sell once to a customer. Our goal should be try to get that customer to become loyal to us over a very long period of time. We want to get the loyalty of the customer. So the basic core fundamental of marketing concept is find out what the customer wants, find out what the customer needs, try to make that product or service according to the requirements of the customers and better than our competitors, so that in the those of you who have just joined us, we're doing the revision for this workshop, consumer behavior. So this is going to be an important part of the course that we're studying. I hope that everyone gets to see this, and and we don't have too many people on. I'm not really sure what's the deal with this. Yes, we're getting some people coming. I think people perhaps were sleeping this early in the morning. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna have to pause it for a second, and I will be back. So, um, quick break, guys. I will be back because. Uh, Okay. Okay, so where were we? Okay, that's right. So we were talking about the marketing concept, and within the marketing concept, if we want to implement the marketing concept, there are four key things that we need to think about. We need to do consumer research, which helps us to find out about our customers. We need to do segmentation, and segmentation is where we take the big market and we cut it down into smaller pieces, smaller segments. And we need to do targeting, where out of the segments that we have broken up the market, a specific segment that we want to target. It could be one, it could be more. And it's about position of our customer. So segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Segmentation, targeting, and positioning are fun to the marketing concept. Segmentation is the process of dividing the market into subsets of consumers with common needs or characteristics. Shoes, etc. Can you guys hear me okay? Guys? The joys of doing things online. Okay, great. So segmentation is the process of dividing the market into segments of consumers who have similar needs, similar wants, similar designs, similar characters. So if you look at the market for shoes, we can look at, we can divide into segments for formal shoes, party shoes, sport shoes, etc. And people play. So the idea of marketing is to look at the whole market and divide it into segments. And next thing what we want to do is we want to select one or more of the segments to pursue. We'll say that, okay, we're going to make shoes, but we are going to make sport shoes. What type of sport shoes are we going to make? We're going to make shoes for running, for example. So that's the target that is the market that we are going to target. That is, as you have companies like they make mostly shoes for sports, all types of sports. So they cover literally all the sports under the sun, almost all the sports under the sun. They're more focused. Positioning is to develop a distinct image in the mind of the consumer for our product. What kind of image? What comes to mind? Is it what sort of image are they getting in the mind of the customer? That is important because we want to ensure that our customers have the right image in mind when they think of our product. We don't want them to have an better, which is not worse than our competitors. So when they think of our product, they think, okay, you know what, this brand is better than everybody else in the market. They think of this brand is more effective, better quality, better brand image, cooler, whatever our goals might be, than our competitors. So it's important the brand image is selected, and we have the right brand image for our customers. Successful positioning strategies means communicating the benefit of the product rather than its features. So what are the benefits we are going to have for this product? And again, if you look at Apple commercials, Apple phones and Apple products, they never show what type of processor they have in there. Never show what type of um, RAM they have, how much space it has on the phone. They always talk about what benefits you get from the phone. Um, Whereas if you look at some of these Chinese brands, two brands which have just come out, and they're trying to copy uh, big brands like Apple and Samsung, they always talk about it's got this much megapixel camera and it's got this much RAM and this processor and this thing. They're focusing on the features, but they're focusing on the features because they're trying to say we are as good as the other brands that are out there, which they're not really doing successfully because their positioning strategy is focusing on features. Whereas, so that does not really make them a distinct product in the mind of the customer. Apple becomes a distinct product in the mind of the customer because you're focusing on the features. Well, what does it do? Well, this is a reliable phone. It's easy to use phone. It's a powerful phone. So once you have those things in the mind of the customer, when the customer thinks this is powerful, it will do what I need to do. It does not matter what the competition is offering, what RAM, what memory, what space the competition is offering. All the customer cares about, well, this is powerful. Does not make a difference what the others are offering. This brand is more powerful. That's how successful positioning is done. And you try to communicate a unique selling proposition for the product. What is that thing that makes you different, makes you unique as compared to your competitors? What makes you better than your competition? And that uniqueness has to be something that is not being copied, that is not easily copyable, or other brands do not have that particular thing. It has to be obviously, as the term suggests, unique. It has to be unique compared to your competitors. Next, we look at the marketing mix. These are the 4 key components that the marketing concept comes with. It is the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. 4 key things help us to design our offering to our customer. We will be talking about the marketing concept in detail later on as well, but so when we talk about the marketing concept, we know the product has to be designed in the right way according to the desires of our customer. Uh, when we talk about product, it does not necessarily have to be a physical product itself. Product is the broad term that we use to define products, services, ideas, and other things. So anything that we're selling, that is our product. So the product has to be according to the desires of our customer. The price has to be, again, in line with what our target market can afford. It has to be in line with, in comparison to what our others are offering. And that depends on your strategy. Some companies would want to have the same price as the competition. Some companies would charge it slightly higher because they want to give an impression that they're better quality. And some companies would want to price it slightly lower, just tell them, okay, you know what, we're as good, but we're priced good value for money. The place is the place where we're selling our products and services. Are we selling them in physical stores? Are we selling them online? Are we selling them in our own stores? Are we selling them through distributors and retailers? How are we selling it? What cities? What countries? What regions are we selling this product or service in? And finally, the promotion. How are we going to promote our product? What advertising? What public relations strategies we're going to have? This is all part of the promotional package. And obviously that has to fit in with everything else that we're doing and according to the desires that our customers want. So if customers are looking for a cool company, we want to show our brand as a cool brand. If customers are looking for a safe car, then we promote ourselves as a safe car. If the customer is looking for a drink that quenches thirst, then we position ourselves as a drink that quenches thirst. So those are the four key components of the marketing mix, which we normally use. Besides these, there are a few others as well, which we would use when we are talking about services. But these four really, they are the basis of the backbone for all marketing activities. Societal marketing concept is something that is becoming more popular now. Um, so as companies are prospering, and we see that happening, there's a few companies that have crossed $1 trillion mark. Then we see that uh, social marketing has to come in. We have to think about society in general. Um, I'm just gonna give me just 1 second. I need to. So we got this interesting thing going on. So it jumps from the number of people. It keeps jumping up and down. Okay, that's good. I'll just be back in a second, guys. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so those people who are just joining us, just a reminder, this is the revision for the key topics. So I thought I'll do the revision for you guys so that no one is left behind in this. So far, we've been talking about consumer behavior and its importance, especially where it has come from. And we looked at the different four key different theories within business. So we looked at the production concept, the selling, and then the marketing concept. And now we're going into the marketing concept in a bit more detail. The thing that has become more popular now, it has become, more companies are adopting this, is something called the societal marketing concept. The idea is that the companies will prosper when the society prospers. So companies as well as individuals would be better off if social responsibility was an integral component of every marketing decision. So keep one thing in mind. While a lot of companies say they're doing social marketing or societal marketing, they believe in that. Unfortunately, the reality is many of them are not. So for many of them, they're just using that as a gimmick to sell their products and services. It becomes an advertising tool. Okay, hey, we're doing this thing, we're doing that thing. But if you look at the total budgets of those companies, it's a very tiny budget of those things. A lot of these companies say they're doing these things, but in actuality, you have to look at the big picture. I believe one CEO said he'll donate $100 million, dollars or something. Now, $100 million sounds like a lot of money, but the fact is, Amazon pays almost zero taxes in most of the company it operates. In the UK, for example, the taxes they paid, I believe, in 1 year was like less than $1 million in taxes, whereas the revenues were in billions of dollars. So they're making billions of dollars, and they're finding creative accounting ways of avoiding to pay those taxes. And then if you pay $100 million, for donation, that's not really a lot of money. That's just a slap in the face of the public, really, because whereas you should be paying much more money, who've been exposed a lot now because of this whole coronavirus pandemic. So you're getting employees to still work, but you're not the right personal protective equipment. You're paying your employees minimum wage. You're not paying your employees for for sick leave, or you're not offering them the right type of benefits that you should be doing. So when we talk societal marketing, the societal marketing concept starts actually with your people. Then it talks about the environment that you're in. Are you polluting your environment? Are you doing things that will cause harm to the environment? And then it's the productive to the whole societal marketing concept. Gone through a digital revolution, and we're still going through a digital revolution. The digital revolution in the marketplace has been accelerated because the coronavirus lockdown globally we have. It's made things very different for a lot of people because people are forced now to use the technology to communicate, as we are doing right now. This workshop, this class, would not have been as popular 6 months ago, a year ago, as it is now because of the coronavirus pandemic. What the digital revolution does is it allows a number of other things, including customization of products and services. We customize promotional messages like never before. So if you're on Google, you're on Facebook, if you're on social media, the ads you're getting are customized to you. What they think, the algorithm thinks would appeal to a person like you, based on your search history, based on your post, based on the things you like, based on things you comment on. All of those things, we take those, we gather that information, and we send targeted messages to people. It allows companies to enhance the relationships with customers more effectively and efficiently. So you're able to communicate better with the customers on many different areas, many different ways, many different platforms now. And it has increased the power of customers to give them access to more information. Obviously, customers have got a lot more information now. So if you want to go on a holiday, you can go online and you can search for places to go on holiday. And then there'll be lots of reviews, customer reviews would be there. And you can read and compare the different customer reviews. If, again, the holiday example, you're going on a holiday, you want to go on a flight, you can go and search price comparison sites where you can find out different flights and prices and different routes from different airlines that are being offered. Same thing you do with hotels and so on and so forth. So customers have got a lot more power now, as opposed to before the digital revolution became very popular. So the digital revolution has transformed the way how we do business significantly. The digital revolution also has facilitated the exchange between consumers and marketers. So it's much more interactive. When you're searching for something, a lot of websites or a lot of apps will have a little chat tool in it. You can chat with sales rep right then and there. You give feedback to the companies. So once you purchase the product, you can leave reviews. A lot of companies, a lot of websites, a lot of apps allow you to leave reviews. So it has affected the way how marketing is done, because now we are focusing more on the digital and social marketing as the budgets are changing, as things are changing. Consumers' preferences are changing, so companies, their budgets are changing to adopt to those change in preferences. So as more customers use social media, companies are shifting more advertising budgets to the social media. As streaming services, streaming TV shows and movies like Netflix and Apple TV are becoming more popular. Again, the budget for advertisers is moving towards those type of media as opposed to the traditional media, which was television. The digital revolution includes changes in segmentation strategies, how we segment our customers, because we've got more information now about our customers. We can get a whole lot more information about our customers. So we are able to segment them in a much where we wouldn't really have the right information about all those people. We are able to reevaluate our promotional strategies and budgets because we know now what is effective. We know what is making an impact. We can change those things rapidly. And it's not just marketing social media or your online presence on the social media and online. We are able to use the offline, the non-digital tools to drive our traffic to our social media and our digital tools. So billboard, hoarding, whatever, they ask you to scan this and it will take them to the website or to the app for the company. So what we're doing is we're using all sorts of media, everything to send our customers to the social media presence where we want them to go to. We have been able to revamp our distribution systems. Companies are going for direct distribution. You will go online and you enter the type of product you want to purchase. That order goes to the factory, and from the factory, that product is shipped directly to the customer. Price comparisons have become much easier. Customers are able to go online and search for comparative prices between different products and services. And the consumer research methods have changed. How do you measure web-based promotions? Well, we've got the tools now. Browsers are they using? What type of devices are they using to access parts of the website? Do they have problems on? So that helps, in our consumer research. It helps us improve our products, our services, study consumer behavior. What is the importance of consumer behavior? Understanding consumer behavior will help us segmenting markets. It is the foundation for positioning products, and it is the foundation for developing appropriate marketing strategies. So once we know what our consumers think, once we know our consumers feel, how they behave, this is a key and one of the most important segments of us becoming a good marketer, to help our business grow, to help our company understand its customers, and specifically when we're trying to segment the markets, when we're trying to position our products, and we're trying to develop appropriate marketing strategies. Knowledge of consumer behavior is essential for non-profit organizations as well as for-profit organizations. It is also important for government organizations. Why? Well, non-profits are not exactly selling products or services, but they have to make money, because when they generate the money, then they can go out and do the things that they're supposed to do. Um, uh, so people who are donors, people who are users, volunteers, general public, government, these are all part of the non-profit domain. We should know what customers think, how they think, how they behave. What is the best way to get the citizens to, to facilitate them? What is the best way to make their life easier? Um, what is the best way to provide the government services to the citizens? And we can do that if we know consumer behavior. So some companies have moved to online voting, or um, participating in the government online through digital means. Why? Because they feel that more of their customers, more of their citizens, in this case, are using digital and social, in person or physically. So consumer behavior is for everyone, literally, not just for profits, but not for profits, for the government. Even the military and armed forces, they use this for recruiting purposes. Um, so consumer behavior is critically important for all types of organizations and all types of businesses. Um, why study consumer behavior? Public service initiatives have to be based on understanding of consumer behavior. For example, Canada's largest advertiser, um, you know, they have to be based on consumer knowledge. Where are our customers? What do they think? What do they behave? What are the things that are? So yes, the public service, the government, the government departments, organizations that are related to the, very much interested in how customers think, how they behave, out and reach that particular target audience. Obviously, consumer behavior and our own consumption behavior. And this is the last thing for in conclusion. This is a model which looks at consumer behavior as a whole. So when we look at the consumer decision making, which is in this green box here, consumer decision making is a process which starts with the problem recognition. So you recognize this, whether you're thirsty or hungry, you need to travel from A to B, you need to solve a work problem, whatever. That is your problem recognition or need recognition. Then we have a pre-purchase search. We search for all the alternatives that are available. And we buy, we evaluate the alternatives. Based on that, we will make a purchase. The purchase, once we make the purchase, we do the product or service, and then we have a post-purchase evaluation. And that kind of goes back into the problem recognition stage for the next time. Based on our evaluation of this experience, we are going to make a decision for next time, whether we want to continue to buy this type of product, this brand, this type of service. That is all going to have an impact based on our evaluation of the current things that we have purchased. Now, there's a number of other factors that have an important role in this. There are internal or psychological factors that includes motivation, perception, learning, personality, and attitude. Now, all of these things we study in this course on consumer behavior. We study motivation, what motivates people, how does personality, learning, and attitude affect customers and their behavior. Then we look at the external or social cultural factors. How does culture impact consumer behavior? How do subcultures, social classes, references, and family groups impact the way how customers behave? And finally, all of these are tied up with the marketing itself. So those are the 4 Ps that we talked about: product, price, place, promotion. So all of these, the external social cultural factors and the firm's marketing efforts. And that's basically what the whole consumer behavior course is about. So we're done with this bit. Uh, are there any questions? So for the questions, I think we'll switch over to our normal thing, right? For those people who are interested, I'm going to start a session now on Skype, and then I'll invite all of you to Skype in a second. Okay, so we have our group ready.